Amen.
Book is Luke, chapter number is 15, verses 8 through 10. 15th chapter of the Gospel of Jesus recorded by Luke. Verses 8 through 10. Either what woman having 10 pieces of silver, if she loses one piece, does not light a candle and sweep the house and seek diligently till she find it? Likewise, I say to you, and there is joy in the presence of the angels of God over one sinner that repents. The flower fades, the grass certainly withers, but my Lord's word shall not return unto him void. I want to tag this text for a few minutes and talk about when you find purpose. When you find purpose. Thank you, ushers. You may be seated. Our text grows out of Jesus' response to those who had problems with his concern about the lost. Matter of fact, they were so bold as to accuse him of being friends of the sinners. For they noticed that his company that he kept more often than not were of people who would have bad reputations. And they said to him that you're hanging out with these people. It may be that you are doing the same thing that they're doing. But Jesus' presence around the sinners was because he was concerned about their lost soul. He was not friends with sinners, but he is a friend to a sinner. I thought I would have got a witness right through there. He's a friend to the sinners. He said, whosoever will, let him come, and I'll no wise cast him away. So he shares with them some parables about lostness. He talks about, first of all, the man who had 100 sheep and one became lost. Talked about how he left the 99 and went and found the lost sheep, put him on his shoulder and brought him back and called on his friends to rejoice with him. Or that sheep that was lost now has been, help me then, been found. Then he explodes this passage upon them about of this woman who had originally 10 pieces of silver. Then she discovered that one of them was missing. And he talks about the lengths she goes to find the lost coin. And then when she found it, how happy she was until she invited others to come and celebrate with her. For the coin that was lost now has been restored to its proper place. And then he shares with us that parable that we have known since time immemorial that's called the parable of the prodigal son. He talks about two sons, both of them being lost. One of them was lost in the far country and came to himself and returned to his father. The other boy was lost in the house and seemingly at the end of the parable never finds himself. But Jesus spent the whole 15th chapter of Luke talking about the lost and his concern for them. I share the master's concern for those who may be lost in their sins on their way to hell and do not know it. For it is of a truth, my brothers and my sisters, if you die tonight and have not confessed Jesus as your Lord and your Savior, the Bible declares that in hell you will lift up your eyes. Now, if you are concerned about being lost and want to be saved, I need to tell you, if you just look outside your door, the door of your heart, Jesus declared that he's standing there and he's knocking and he wants to come in and save you and fellowship with you and change your life forever. I don't want you, my dears, to die and do not have the ticket in your hand. I don't want you to die and don't have your business fixed and your mind made up. Any help in this house? I want you to be sure that heaven is your goal and heaven will be your home. Said on Wednesday night, we who are saved know we are going to heaven because we are not dependent on ourselves to get us there. Talk to me if you can. If you're saved and been born again, you're not sitting hoping you make it to heaven. You know you're going to make it to heaven because your hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and his righteousness. And so we as believers do not live in jeopardy wondering what's going to happen. We know how it's going to turn out. And so Jesus is concerned about the lost. Textually here, he's concerned about the lost. But I wanted to, if you would permit me, go back and look at this parable of the lost coin, understanding that contextually it's about lostness. But I want to look at it because something happens to this woman here in the text when she discovers her coin is lost. She develops a purpose for changing not only her house, but her life. Have I witnessed here? And I want to say to all of you who took your precious time to come over here today, that you're here for a reason. God has a purpose for your life. He did not just make you because he got tired of doing something. If you are here and if you are alive today, God has a purpose for you. It may be right now that you're not living in that purpose. It may be now that honestly you don't even know why you are here, but I want to tell you that you can discover your purpose. You can find out what it is that God wants you to do, and then once you discover purpose, then purpose really, it gives you that drive. It gives you that motivation. It lights that fire in your bosom that causes you to want to wake up every day and take on the world, knowing that you're already a winner, knowing that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, knowing that you are more than a conqueror in Christ Jesus. When you have purpose, when you have purpose, you don't worry about the hills because you know you can climb them. You don't worry about the valley because you know you can tread them, and you don't have to tread them alone. Life that has purpose has meaning. Have I witnessed here? And I want to tell you that honestly, my brothers and sisters, we've been preaching about purpose since the beginning of the year, and it ought to at least be on your mind that I need to figure out why I'm here. I'm here more than just to be born, live, and die. I wish I had a witness here. See, life has to have more meaning to you than to be born, live, get a job, pay bills all your life, and die in debt. God has more than that for you. Life is not about always struggling. It's not about always trying to get by. If you're in the will of God, you ought not have to wait till you get to heaven to enjoy some heavenly blessing. God will bless you right here. I thought I had some witnesses here. I say God will rain down heaven right here. I argue if you can catch hell here, you ought to catch some heaven. I think I know what I'm talking about. Folk always talking about they catching hell. I'm catching some heaven. I'm dropping the ball on hell. I'm letting it go back to the pit from where it came from. But now anyway you bless me, Lord, I'll be satisfied. And so I want to look at this because this woman, she discovers purpose, and her purpose is that one of her coins is missing. Now scholars argue that this coin probably went to a headpiece, and it had 10 pieces of silver in the headpiece. And no doubt this woman perhaps may have been getting ready to go to some auspicious, august occasion, and she couldn't go in there with the headpiece, 9 pieces there and 1 missing. So the Bible said when she developed the purpose, and her purpose is to find the coin. Somebody say find the coin. And see, that's what somebody in the room need to do. You need to know that there is something missing in your life. More correctly and aptly, there's somebody missing in your life, and that somebody is Jesus. Have I witnessed here? I need somebody to testify that knowing Jesus makes life worth living. Knowing Jesus makes life worth living. I'm going to say it one more time. Knowing Jesus, talk to me if you can, it makes life worth. The burdens are still heavy, the mountains are still high, the valleys are still low, the river is still wide, but since I know Jesus, it makes it worth living. I don't want to pull the covers back over my head and not face the next day, because Jesus, he's in my life, and you've got to stop trying to measure purpose by accumulation. Life, Jesus said, does not consist in the abundance of things that one possesses. Watch me now, watch me, because see, if you are caught up in the rat race and win the race, you're still a rat. Come on, talk to me here for a minute. If your life is just about having cars, clothes, and cash, and you get the car, the clothes, and the cash, and your soul be lost, then you still lose. For I believe it was Jesus who raised the question, what shall a man profit if he gains the whole world and lose his soul? Our foreparents had it. They came from shotgun houses. They had it. They walked to church. They had it. They walked to school. They had it. They worked from can to cane, from sun up to sundown, but they had it. They say, I'm happy with Jesus. We have more now than we ever had. I need somebody to talk to me. I mean, it used to be, Joe, it wasn't no question about what I was wearing in church. What pair of shoes I was going to wear. I had one pair. Anybody remember them Buster Browns? One pair. And I couldn't wear them, talk to me here, nowhere but church. And when church was over, you got out them shoes. I don't care if you got barefooted, you got out them shoes. And they stayed pushed under your bed until Sunday, unless a funeral happened or you had some program at school, but you didn't wear those shoes every day. We are so blessed now. Now we got a pair of shoes for every outfit. And some of y'all won't wear the stuff until you get the shoes to match. Talk to me here. Don't make me call your name. Talk to me here. we're more blessed now than we ever been, and more miserable now than we ever been. All this stuff we have, and we're still having to mask the pain in our lives. We're still trying to drink ourselves to deliverance and snort our way to satisfaction and eat our way to ecstasy. We're still trying to make it work because we figured out one thing, that stuff can't make you happy. It will not do it. It has to be something more that brings real joy, and that is a relationship with Jesus. See, when you find purpose, the first thing I want to tell you, when you find purpose, you will not accept the average. When you find purpose, you will not be satisfied with just getting along. You will no longer want to live in that everybody else doing it, so this is all I have to do to get by. See, people with purpose in their life, they are called by some overachievers, because the question is, ask of them, when is enough? Because somebody settled with an associate, somebody settled with a bachelor, somebody settled with a master's, but you want a PhD. And they asking you why? Because I know what my purpose is. Talk to me here. And I don't want to live this life and not fulfill my purpose. And my purpose is not being average. If you're with Jesus, you're average. You ain't don't look at me like that. I'm not trying to throw no shade on nobody. But I dare you to be who God wants you to be, and I promise you, you won't be average. You won't be average, but you won't have all these folk in your life neither. Let me argue for a minute. Where you're going, most of the people that's around you right now won't be there when you get where you're going. And I'm tired of trying to care folk with me that ain't going where I'm going. I'm tired of trying to get folk to see what I'm looking at, because they can't see what I'm looking at because they're not standing where I'm standing. Talk to me, somebody. And you got to understand that everybody that's with you and got your back ain't backing you. Some folk are in your life so they can get a front row seat to your pain. They ain't there because they're concerned about what you're going through. They are there so they can get the first-hand account of how bad things are in your life. Got quiet in here then. Why is it that if they got your back every time you need back and they broke? I need two people to help me out now. I'm not the smartest guy. I'm not the brightest color in the box. I need somebody to help me here. How is it that if you my ride or die, and every time I need bail and you dead? Can I get some help in here? Everybody that's up in your life right now, all up in your stuff, tasting your Kool-Aid, all in your business, giving you advice, they are not there because they're trying to go where you're going. Think I'm lying to you? Follow them home. I found out that some of these folk that hang around me, they got way more than me, but they act broker than I am. Because they found out that I let them have some of what I got, so they saved theirs. You know, went by nobody's house, started looking around like, wait a minute, hold up. If we tight like that, how you got all of this up in here? Preach, man. When you find purpose, you have to recognize that all the folk that are in your life, young people, listen to me. Grown folk, they too grown to listen. I need some young folk to listen to me. See, when you find purpose and purpose in your heart and your mind, that you're going to make a life for yourself before you make one for somebody else. It's a lot of folk ain't going to be in your life. It's a lot of boys that was speaking to you ain't going to speak to you no more. When you tell them, I'm going to preach, I'm out of reach. They ain't going to be able to handle that. You got to stop settling. Think about where you would be if you hadn't settled. Just think for a minute where you would be if you hadn't settled for somebody who was temporary in your life. And when you settle, that means you accept less than you are worth. This woman could have fixed the headpiece so she could have pulled a little hair over it and covered up the spot where the missing coin was. And no one would have ever known that she didn't have the 10 pieces. But she knew. See, what you've got to do is you've got to stop pulling the rug out from under yourself. It ain't your mama's fault, because too many folk done made it without a mama. It ain't your daddy's fault, because too many folk done made it, don't even know who their daddy is. It ain't where you were born. Too many folk done came out the cotton patch and wound up in the penthouse. So you got to stop pulling the rug out from under yourself. Now that I have your attention. Getting by is not enough. Getting over is not enough. Because if you get by and get over, you got to be a hustler all your life. I'm not going to hustle all my life. At some point, life needs to turn around and start blessing me instead of being a burden all of my life. But now if you settle, now listen to me, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not talking about where you are now, because everybody who's in there had to struggle at some point. Don't fool yourself. Some folks don't want to make you think they're struggling. I done told y'all, follow some of these folk home. It ain't for mignon and caviar. It's peanut butter jelly and bologna. Roma noodles. I pull up in my whip and you go crazy because I'm balling. But whoa, look what Pastor rolling in. But you don't know what it takes for me to push that whip. And if you're in the trenches right now, and if you're fighting, if you're trying to redeem yourself and reclaim yourself and restore yourself and turn your life around, I need you to listen to me very carefully, because I'm talking to you, because you've got to stop settling for average. You just can't run with the herd. You got to be a trailblazer. You need to be the trendsetter. She discovers the coin is missing, and when she discovered that the coin was missing, she discovered where the coin was missing at. It was missing in her house. She didn't lose it at her neighbor's house. She didn't lose it out on the town. She knew the last time she saw that coin, it was in her own house. I'm trying to give 2 more people the chance to get to the house. They coming. I'm trying to get 2 more. See, the light hadn't come on for them quite yet. Because they still got a little chip on their shoulder. Every time the preacher preaches, they're mad at the preacher because of what he's preaching about, because they feel like he's preaching to them. Simply because they won't take responsibility for their own problems. And if the preacher talking to you, you ought to count it joy that God thought enough of you to say something to you this morning. You ought to bless his name that he would take time to say something to you. She lost it in her own house. Somebody say in her house. See, if we could just take 6 months to handle our house and 6 months to handle our house. See, some of y'all would be put out of business if you handled your own stuff. You wouldn't have nothing to talk about, nothing to post, nothing to tweet about, nothing to Snapchat about, nothing to act a fool about, nothing to get upset about, because everything you mad about is in somebody else's house. Wouldn't get in your feelings if you just handled your own house. Preach, Reverend. Just preach, man. Just check out, just read sometime when folk go to posting stuff on Facebook and tweeting stuff out and Snapchat and all that stuff and talk about they in their feelings. They ain't never in their feelings about their own house. Missing. Set is not complete without the other coin. Secondly, when you find purpose, you will not accept average. You will rearrange your life. Because you will discover that the way you're living and how you're living and where you're living is not going to get you where you need to go. If you're tired of being broke, quit spending. Don't keep complaining about how high stuff is. See, there's a season in all of our lives when we have to do some stuff that's not popular. See, there's a season in your life when you have to wear the same stuff. See, we couldn't do this thing. We couldn't do this thing. That's why they had a straightening comb and Blue Magic hair grease. I need somebody to help me. Folks talking about they going natural. That's all we was, natural. My mama washed my sister's hair and there was Cadillac hair that rolled up and parked everywhere. She comb it out and plait it, then she put them under the dryer and get it dry and say, sit down here between my legs, and you better not move. Now, Big Mama got a perm, I got a perm, Little Bit got a perm, and 2 Bit want a perm. And you better watch Pookie because he might get one too. There's a season. See, there was a season when our foreparents understood that if they were going to get you to college, it was some stuff they couldn't do, not because they weren't able to do it, but they couldn't do that because of what they wanted to do for you. When the last time you made a sacrifice for your child? Can I argue something that really may not make much sense to most, but I think if you think about it, that it makes sense to you? I think that you ought to be required to move every 3 years. Now hold on, wait a minute, let me finish. See, y'all getting all bent out of shape, upset, and wait till I move every 3 years. Because there are more hoarders than we really want to admit. Now we see the folk on the show hoarders. They got newspapers from 20 years, they didn't throw, and we talk, oh, I wouldn't live in nothing like that. You got stuff in your house right now. You aren't going to ever use it. Can I say it like this? We need to declutter our lives. Anybody gonna help the preacher? It's some clothes in your closet you ain't gonna wear. No, because you ain't doing what it takes to wear them. I told y'all about that suit I had. I had a two-piece houndstooth suit, and that was the baddest suit I ever had. And when I had it on, shucks, I was looking good. Messed around there and had exercise going fork to mouth more than it should have been, and I couldn't get in that suit, and it hung in the closet for years. I kept on looking at it. John said, I'm going to get in you. Until one day, Brian, I came to the stark realization I wasn't doing what it took to get in the suit. And I was holding up somebody's blessing in my clutter. You missed it. When you declutter your life, it puts you in a position to be a blessing to somebody else. Now, I ain't been to your house, so can't be talking about your house, but I want you to look at your own house for a minute. Take a mental flight right through your house right quick in just the living room. You see anything that you really ought not have in there. Don't say that. Your neighbor gonna hear know your business that you got a junky living room. I'm talking to you. Is it anything that you keep stepping over that you're not going to do nothing with, but you won't throw it away? You pass by and your yard look like it's been cut by the young cutters. Look like Breland and Cameron been by your house and cut your yard, and your house look good on the outside, and you open the door and got to fight your way to the kitchen. Box of this, box of that. Clutter. Everybody say clutter. That's y'all new word for the day, clutter. When you get purpose, purpose will cause you to declutter your life. Some good preaching today. Got a few of y'all thinking. 6, 7 y'all mad. About 12 of y'all gonna get a shout before we go home. When you find purpose, you will rearrange your life. The light needs to come on before 40. You're 38 talking about you're a man. You're a baller. And still living with your mom in them. She lost the coin. What's the next thing she did? What's the next thing she done? Y'all didn't close your Bible, did you? Okay, she lost the coin. What's the next thing she did? Read the text. Don't read what the Bible says. The next thing she done. If she loses one piece, she lit a candle. The next thing she done was lit the candle because her house was too dark. See, all the preacher does is throw a little light on your situation, and you call it shade. Check it out. Every time the preacher come at you and make sense and say what you know you need to hear, you don't call it light. He up in that throwing off on folk on the fly. At 55, almost 56? No. If I got something to say to you, I ain't going to be throwing off on slide. I'm going to call your name and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. Okay? You ain't no shade. No. It could be the Holy Ghost. But since you ain't heard from him lately, you probably call it shade. But he just might be talking to you. She lit a candle, and what we got to do is brighten up our situation. You're just like I am. You're not happy with where you are. But you refuse to light the candle. Quit cursing the dark. She lit a candle. By lighting the candle, it illumined how dirty her house was. You will rearrange your life when you find purpose. Purpose will put you on the right road. The prodigal son found purpose in the hog pen. He recognized his purpose was not to be a baller, shot caller, but to be a son. And he said, I'm going home and I'm going to tell my daddy, since I messed up so badly, I just would like to be a slave on his campus. And when he got back home, the father said, your purpose always have ever been is to be a son. And how many of us are living outside of our purpose? When you find purpose, you will rearrange your life. She lit a candle. What's the next thing she done? Swept the house. House, it got a little dirty. And all our houses get a little dirty. I got a few dishes need washing right now. Waiting on my wife to get back so she can wash it. All our slaves gone. 4 or 5 of y'all caught that one. I've been trying to borrow some, but y'all won't loan me none. If I'm there and she's not there, I have to get the remote control myself, because when I'm there and she's there, I'm waiting. Talk to him if you can. You going to the kitchen? Why are you on your way? Can you pass me? Oh, I thought I'd get up on some of y'all like acting like you don't know what I'm talking about. She swept her own house. I'm not advocating you get nobody else to handle this. This is something that you've got to handle yourself. You need to handle your own business. She lit a candle. She started sweeping around her house. And the Bible says, how did she do it? She sought diligently. She was hunting for it. And she wasn't going to quit till she found it. Why not start today? Because the day after all is the first day of the rest of your life. And whatever you thought was going to destroy you in your past is behind you. God done handled all that bad stuff, all that stuff that you thought you couldn't make it through. Look at you right here. I know I got a witness in here that know you ought not be here by his grace. He gave us another chance. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity. It's a new chance for us to do something with what we got. And the woman said, I'm not going to the party without 10 pieces. Somebody say 10 pieces. 9 is not enough. Let me find a way out of here. When you find purpose, you will not accept the average. When you find purpose, you will rearrange your life. There's no sense of you being angry at somebody who done found purpose and doing what they need to do. Still keep seeing 80 and 90-year-old people walking across stage with a diploma. Because they purposed in their heart that they would not die without finishing high school. GED equivalent going on to higher education, because they didn't let them dropping out stop them. Just like you dropped out, you can drop back in. I told you before, my mama made sure all 6 of us finished high school. And then she went and got a GED. Because she understood how necessary it was for us to have a high school diploma in our day. We didn't settle until our children got a college diploma, because we understood they needed a college education. I don't know what my grandchildren gonna need. They don't have to just be born rich, I guess. But each generation cannot allow the coming generation to settle where they are. I told Larry, boy, you got to be a better man than me. You can't be just like your daddy. You may look like me, but you can't be like me, because that rascal ain't no good. You got to be better than me. Why has he got to be better than me? He must be better than me for one reason, because he'll live a better life. Secondly, because I want my grandson better than both of us. Y'all ain't listening to me. See, sometimes it got to be more than about you. It's called legacy. What are you trying to leave? If when you die, they put all of you in that 4x6 grave, shame on you. I want 100 years from now somebody saying, Reverend Hawkins said. Dr. King left us in the 60s. We still talking about what Dr. King said. Got to leave something behind. These young people up here, they are precious. They just like gold. They're like diamonds and pearls. All they need is some expectations, and they can live up to them. You got to stop calling them out the name. You got to stop mistreating them. You got to encourage them and tell them, I believe in you. Maybe didn't nobody believe in you, but you ought to believe in yours. My mama never walked across the stage, got a high school diploma, but she believed in us enough to make sure all 6 of us got it. She told us, you're going to graduate or die. I told you, old school parents didn't play. You didn't have no option. They didn't negotiate with you. They told you to wash dishes or I killed you. Anybody came from that side of the road, make up that bed or I'll knock the breath out you. You wanted to keep breathing, you made the bed up. It was just that simple. You roll your eyes, you woke up next week. You start talking while they hadn't finished talking, you got punched in the throat. Anybody from that side of town? And I bet you everybody got their hand up, ain't been to jail, ain't been straight out on drugs, ain't stole nothing, ain't done none of that kind of stuff. And right to the day, your mother and father could be with Jesus, but there's stuff you still won't do because they believed in you and gave you expectations. And you say it like this, now I don't do that, I wasn't raised like that. Closing. She lit a candle. She swept the house diligently. That means she didn't just sweep out in the middle aisle. She got in the crooks and the crannies. She got all behind. You know, it was almost like spring cleaning. She went behind. Look, I still don't understand. When my mama said we cleaning the house up, she's doing like stuff. Clean out under that bed. Mama, ain't nobody looking under this bed but us. Get everything out from under that bed, that's behind the dresser. Am I the only somebody from that side of town that when you had to clean up, you had to just clean stuff all up in the corner, get them spider web, get behind it? Oh, that's your problem. You don't know how to clean up. You just keep out there where you're about to walk and see, and you got all that stuff hid behind all that color. Let's clean up. She swept diligently throughout the house. She swept, and lo and behold, the latter clause of verse 8 says she sought diligently till she found it. Verse number 9 says she found it when she found it. Because she was looking for it. When she found it, the Bible said she called her friends and said to them, I want you to come on and celebrate with me. I want you to come on and shout with me. Because my coin that was lost, I have found it now, and I want to have a celebration. And see, when you find purpose in your life, you will not settle for the average, and you will rearrange your life. And thirdly and finally, you will like the change that has been brought in your life. The Bible said she found her calling and she found joy. She found her calling and she got happy. Don't you know that if you're a child of God, the Lord does not want you to always be sad. He wants you to have some joy in your life. And what you got to do is be willing to make a change in your life. If you're tired of going down, you ought to start looking up. If you're tired of things not going your way, I tell you what you ought to do is hook up with Jesus. For I heard the Bible saying that he said that I am the way. Have I got a witness in him there who knows that every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before? I got to close, but I want to tell you that when you find purpose, what you're doing, you wake up with a spirit that's not of this world. When you find purpose, you wake up with a determined mind. When you find purpose, sometimes it means relocation, sometimes it means disassociation, sometimes it means walking by yourself. But if you got the Lord on your side, you already a winner. Have I got a witness that know that Jesus, he makes all the difference in the world? Young folk, listen to me. You don't have to wait until you get age to decide that you want to come in. You can come on right now while you're young. You can come on and give your life to Jesus. You can come on and make a decision that for God I live and for him I die. Good afternoon, y'all. I've kept you much too long, but I want to tell you that when you find purpose, people are not going to understand why you're doing what you're doing. See, when you find purpose, you find yourself building an ark on dry ground. People People will laugh at you, but keep on building because the Lord only do it. He'll float your boat if you keep on doing what the Lord told you to do. You'll find yourself standing at a Red Sea with a stick in your hand. But I dare you to raise it and watch the Lord divide your Red Sea. If anybody in the room that no purpose will not let you settle for being average, purpose will drive you and make you want to go beyond average. Do you hear me? When you got purpose, you find yourself fighting giants in your life. David had purpose, y'all, down in that valley. He had a slingshot and he had a rock, but he had a God who couldn't miss. Do I have a witness here? And he killed Goliath. Do I have any giant slayers in the house who done made up in your mind that the rough side of the mountain is the best side? Because every now and then I need to grab a hold to something. But I'm coming, Lord, at the rough side of the mountain. Every now and then I need to hold on till the Lord comes and seal down there. Because I found out that the race is not given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. But if you hold on, won't he do it? And if you hold on, won't he do it? And if you hold on, won't he do it? He'll come see about you. And then 5 more people in this house who know that God will. He'll turn your life around. If you give him the chance, he'll come in. Won't he do it? I thank God that I'm not who I used to be. And I praise God I'm not where I'm gonna be. I got to keep on moving. I got to keep on striving. Anybody got a made up mind that you're going to make the race where it ought to be? I got my candle in one hand. I got my broom in the other hand. And my mind is made up. I'm gonna keep on sweeping in my life. I'm gonna keep on looking for those things that does not favor God, because I want to live so. What about you? I say I want to live so. What about you? I want to live so. The Lord can use me anytime or anywhere. If anybody in here got joy unspeakable and full of glory, is there anybody in here broke but you still got joy? Is there anybody in here you burning down but you still got joy? I need a saint to help me now. If you can say out of all the things I've been through, but I still got joy. If you got joy, let me hear you say joy, joy, joy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The woman did not quit. She kept on looking until she found her coin. Somebody in this room, you need to hear me today. I know it's been rough. I know it's been hard. I don't know how hard. And you feel like quitting. You feel like giving up. You raise the question, what's the use? Why keep on trying? Why keep putting myself through this? And I've come today just to encourage you to keep sweeping. Keep the candle lit. Some of you know you're on the right road, but things just ain't coming together. You do one thing, they tell you got to do something else. You do that, then they say something else, and you just wonder, am I ever going to get where I'm trying to go? I want to tell you, yes, you will. Because he that hath began a good work in you, he's going to continue it. until it's done. I challenge you, man, woman, boy, girl, all across this building. Look within yourself and see what it is that I need to do to not accept average, to rearrange my life. And I promise you, you'll like the change. You will not be so upset when you find out who people really are. What you ought to be upset about is it took you that long to figure it out. It's a serious moment for somebody here today. Lives hang in the balance. Somebody can leave this building today and go to hell because they may die before they get to another opportunity to confess Jesus. And what the passage was about, seeking for the lost. In every passage that the lost was found, a celebration was had. And Jesus ultimately said that in the presence of the angels, there is shouting over one that repents. You want Jesus to get happy today. You never been baptized. You saw us baptized for today. You never given your life to Christ, never